For 40 years, the Vatican kept a document it did not want to reveal to the world. Several popes read it and decided to close the envelope again. In 2000, they finally revealed the contents. The world stopped, and the reaction was immediate. That's it? Because those who read it noticed something strange. It didn't feel complete. It felt like something was missing. And to this day, no one has been able to answer one simple question. Did the Vatican reveal everything? It was July 13th, 1917. 3 children were kneeling in a field in Fatima, Portugal. Francisco was 9 years old. Jacinta was 7. Lucia was 10. They were the children of peasant farmers, without education, without importance in the eyes of the world. But on that afternoon, what happened in that field would forever change the history of the Catholic Church in the 20th century. Our Lady appeared for the 4th time since May of that year, and on that July afternoon, different from the others, she entrusted to the children a message that was not to be revealed immediately, a message divided into 3 parts, a message that she herself asked to be kept. The first 2 parts became known decades later. The first was a vision of hell, a reality that, as Our Lady knew, the modern world would try to erase from human consciousness. The second was an urgent request, devotion to the Immaculate Heart of Mary and the consecration of Russia so that its errors would not spread throughout the world. But the third part remained in silence. Francisco died in 1919. He was 11 years old. Jacinta died in 1920. She was 10. Only Lucia remained, and with her remained the secret. Our Lady had said, "I want you to stay here on earth." There was a reason, there was a mission, and there was a message the world was not yet ready to hear. Lucia grew up. She became a nun. She learned to write. And years later, in obedience to her bishop, she put into writing what she had seen in that field in 1917. What she wrote was kept in an envelope, sealed with wax, with a clear instruction. It should only be opened and read by the Pope, and only after the year 1960. Why 1960? Lucia did not fully explain, but she said that by then things would be clearer. 1960 arrived, and the world waited. The document arrived at the Vatican in 1957. The Bishop of Fatima and Liera, in obedience, sent the envelope to Rome. It was placed inside a larger envelope. On the outside, the bishop had written that the contents should only be opened and read by Sister Lucia's death or in 1960, whichever came first. 1960 arrived. The Pope was John XXIII. He opened the document, he read it, he called a translator to help him understand Sister Lucia's Portuguese. He read carefully, and then he did something no one expected. He placed the document back inside the envelope. He kept it, and he said nothing. John XXIII gave no public explanation. He did not reveal the contents. He did not indicate when it would be revealed. He simply kept it. The years passed. Paul VI visited Fatima in 1967, the only pope to go to Fatima during that period. He went on pilgrimage, he prayed, he blessed the crowd, and he also read the secret. When Sister Lucia asked to speak with him personally, Paul VI responded through his secretaries. She should speak with her bishop if she had something to say. A very simple woman. That is how she was described in the corridors of the Vatican. John Paul I died 33 days after being elected in September 1978. It is not known with certainty whether he read the document. Then came John Paul II. He read the secret before being shot in St. Peter's Square,
But it was after the assassination attempt on May 13, 1981, precisely on the anniversary of the Fatima apparitions, that the document took on a different urgency in his eyes. Waking up in the Gemelli Hospital with bullets removed from his body, John Paul II asked for the text of the secret to be brought to him. He read it again, and he was deeply unsettled. 40 years after the deadline established by Lucia herself, the secret was still kept. Why? That is the question that has never had a satisfying answer. If the message were simple, if it were something the world already knew, there would be no reason for 40 years of silence. There is no proportionate cause for that effect. When something is kept hidden for that long, there is a reason, and the reason is rarely simple. It was May 13, 2000. On the day of the beatification of Francisco and Jacinta Marto, the two shepherd children who had died as children, the Vatican announced it would finally reveal the Third Secret of Fatima. The Catholic world stopped. Decades of waiting were coming to an end. The published document was a vision, a disturbing vision, dense with symbolism, written in Sister Lucia's careful handwriting. It was available on the Vatican website in multiple languages, with the original handwritten text in Portuguese, with the conference of Cardinal Ratzinger, the future Pope Benedict XVI, providing the Church's official interpretation. Everything seemed transparent, everything seemed definitive, but when the faithful read the text, when investigators studied it, when the devoted analyzed it, the feeling was strange. That's it? 40 years? Several popes who read and closed the envelope, an atmosphere of gravity and weight that had always surrounded this document, and what was written, although profound, although disturbing, seemed incomplete, as if something were missing, as if there were one page less. That feeling was not irrational. It had a foundation. Let us read what was revealed, and then understand what may have been left unrevealed. The vision begins like this. After the two parts already explained, the children saw to the left of Our Lady and a little above an angel with a flaming sword in his left hand. As it flashed, it gave out flames that looked as though they would set the world on fire, but they died out in contact with the splendor that Our Lady radiated towards him from her right hand. An angel of punishment, a sword of fire, and Our Lady holding back that punishment with her hand. The angel pointed to the earth with his right hand and with a loud voice said, "Penance, penance, penance." Then comes the central vision. The children saw in an immense light, that is God, a bishop dressed in white. They had the impression it was the Holy Father. This bishop was walking through a city half in ruins, trembling with halting step, afflicted with pain and sorrow, praying for the souls of the corpses he met on his way. He reached the top of a steep mountain. At the summit, a great cross of rough-hewn trunks, and there, kneeling at the foot of the cross, the bishop dressed in white was killed by a group of soldiers who fired bullets and arrows at him. With him died bishops, priests, men and women religious, and many lay people of various ranks and positions. But the end of the vision is extraordinary. Beneath the two arms of the cross, two angels each held a crystal aspersorium. In these they gathered the blood of the martyrs, and with it they sprinkled the souls that were making their way to God. This vision is published. It is public. It is on the Vatican website. Anyone can read it. The question is not whether this vision exists. The question is whether it was everything that was in the envelope. There is a detail in the vision that investigators noticed immediately. Francisco Marto was one of the three shepherd children of Fatima. But Francisco was different from the other two. He could see the apparitions, but he could not hear the words of Our Lady. Lucia and Jacinta heard, Francisco only saw. That is why, after each apparition, Lucia and Jacinta had to tell Francisco what they had heard. Now, at the end of the vision of the Third Secret, Our Lady told the children, "Do not tell anyone, but you may tell Francisco." If Francisco only saw and did not hear, and if the vision revealed in 2000 is entirely visual, with no words from Our Lady except the angel's cry, then what was there to tell Francisco? There is an absence of audio in this vision. It is like a silent film. There are images, there is movement, there is the cry of penance, but the words of Our Lady, her interpretation, her explanation of what those images mean, they are not there. Serious and respected investigators, such as Antonio Sochi and Christopher Ferrara, arrived at a hypothesis that has withstood the test of time. There may be a second document, a smaller page, a pagella, as they say in Italian, where Our Lady explains in words the meaning of the vision. The vision would be the parable. The pagella would be the interpretation of the parable. And that interpretation, because of its consequences, its clarity, its force, would be the real point of conflict. Why would this second document have remained hidden? Cardinal Ratzinger, in his 2000 conference, said something significant. He said that in private revelations, the vision belongs to the seers, but the interpretation belongs to the Church. In other words, the interpretation made by Sister Lucia would not automatically be authorized. Here is the fracture. If Our Lady spoke words to Lucia, words that explain what the vision means, and if those words were written by Lucia in the document, then there are two things in the envelope, the vision and the words of Our Lady. The vision was published. The words, if they exist in that pagella, were not.
And the question that remains without a convincing answer is this: why was a document hidden for 40 years if what was revealed in 2000 does not justify 40 years of silence? There is no proportionate cause for that effect. Something in that envelope was very uncomfortable, very heavy, very inconvenient. There is a letter. Sister Lucia wrote to Pope John Paul II before the publication of The Secret. That letter is included in the Vatican's own official publication, and in it, Lucia writes something very clear. She says that the third part of The Secret refers to the words of Our Lady. If Russia is not consecrated to the Immaculate Heart of Mary, it will spread its errors throughout the world, promoting wars and persecutions against the Church. The good will be martyred, the Holy Father will have much to suffer, various nations will be annihilated. This is the key. If the third part of The Secret speaks of Russia with this degree of specificity, then the silence becomes more understandable, the reluctance becomes more understandable, and it becomes clearer why no pope had the courage to name Russia explicitly in the consecrations that were made. The diplomatic consequences would have been enormous, the political pressure would have been unbearable, and the message, clear, direct, maiming a specific nation as an instrument of errors threatening the Church and the world, was difficult to manage publicly. Russia spread its errors. That is Lucia's statement, not speculators, not investigators, the very woman who heard the words of Our Lady in that field in 1917. And the errors of Russia, the materialist ideology, the godless worldview, the Marxism that penetrated institutions and also entered the Church itself, those errors did not remain in the stratosphere. They are present, they are visible, and those who have eyes to see, see. Let us return to the vision that was revealed. The angel with the flaming sword is not an invented image, it is pure apocalypse. It is the language that the Bible has used for 2,000 years to speak of the relationship between divine justice and mercy. Our Lady holding back with her right hand the flames that threaten to set the world on fire is the image of clemency, a mother who intercedes, a mother who asks for more time, one more chance, one more opportunity for her children to convert. And the cry of the angel, penance, 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 is not a threat, it is an appeal. It is the same appeal Our Lady made at Lourdes to Bernadette, penance for sinners, the same she made at La Salette, at Akita,
at Garabandal. The message is always the same because the gospel is always the same. Jesus himself said, "Unless you do penance, you will all likewise perish." The punishment foretold in the vision is not the final word of an angry God. It is the last mercy of a Father who has exhausted all other means, who sent preachers, who sent messages, who sent his own mother repeatedly in various countries with the same appeal, and who, in the face of human deafness, allows history to follow its course. The bishop dressed in white, walking through a city in ruins, praying for the dead, full of pain. This image is central. His identity is debated, the controversies exist, but the central meaning is clear. There will be suffering, there will be martyrdom, and the martyrs, those who shed their blood for fidelity to the faith, will be the instruments through which God waters other souls. The blood of martyrs watering souls. It is the logic of the gospel itself. It is the logic of the cross. What is not new is the message. What may be new is the scale and the proximity. We know things. We know that several popes read the document and closed the envelope again. We know that none of them considered the moment right to reveal the contents for 40 years. We know that when it was revealed, the reaction was one of perplexity, not because of what was there, but because 40 years of silence found no proportionate justification in what was shown. We know that there are strong indications, not certainties, but indications, that a second document may exist with the words of Our Lady explaining the vision. We know that Sister Lucia wrote that the third part of the secret refers to Russia and its consequences.
We know that the revealed vision ends with an image of redemption, the blood of martyrs watering souls, which means that even in the most serious scenario, the last word is one of hope. And we know that we are not obliged to believe in private revelations. The faith of the Church does not depend on Fatima. Salvation does not pass through Fatima. But when a private message produces signs of this magnitude, the miracle of the sun witnessed by 70,000 people, the conversion of multitudes, the precision of prophecies fulfilled in the 20th century, it would be imprudent to ignore it completely. What remains open is the question this video has asked from the beginning. Did the Vatican reveal everything? The honest answer is, we do not know with certainty. What we do know is that there are serious reasons to doubt that the 2000 revelation was complete, and that doubt is not the invention of conspiracy theorists. It is shared by serious investigators, respected theologians, and by the very feeling that remains when one reads the text and senses that something seems to be missing. A parable without its interpretation, a vision without the words that explain it, an envelope that kept a secret for 40 years and that may still be keeping something. Fatima is not an event of the past. It is an active message, an appeal that continues to be made, a mother who continues to intercede, holding back with her right hand the flames that threaten to set the world on fire. And the response she asks for is not complex: penance, prayer, conversion of heart. Not because punishment is inevitable, but because mercy is still open, because there is still time, because that is always the meaning of Our Lady's appeals, not fear, but hope. The secret of Fatima, revealed or not in its entirety, always points in the same direction: the need to return to God, to hear what He is saying, to not close our ears when the message is uncomfortable. Because when the message is uncomfortable, that is precisely where what we most need to hear is found. This has been another episode of Sacred Roots. If this story touched something in you, share it with someone who also seeks to understand the moments where the sacred and history intersect in ways that reason alone cannot fully explain. Subscribe to the channel. In the next episode, we continue this journey through the most fascinating mysteries of the sacred world. See you soon.